So I'm going to show you how to use the skyscraper technique, which sounds fancy and I could make it very complicated, but here's all it is. You're just reaching out by a cold email and asking websites to link to you. Some will link to you for free. Some will say, sure, I can do that, but how much are you going to pay me? Or can I get a link back from you? And you just negotiate a link doing this. Now, one thing to note is that you're sending a lot of cold emails here. So this is a numbers game. Now, the thing is, if you're sending out a lot of cold emails, you must make sure you have an unsubscribe button on the emails that you send. But I'll come on to that later in a second. And this is very easy to automate. And I could show you a million different ways to set up an outreach campaign for link building, but I believe this is just the easiest. It's just going to save you time. I mean, you could do prospecting separately through Ahrefs, and then you could set it up on Lemlist or Hunter.io, etc. If you've seen my other YouTube videos, you've seen me do this. But I want to save you time. I want you to set this up with minimum frustration. And I want it to be a system where if you've never done link building before and you've never done any type of cold email, well, this system should work for you. Okay. And one thing I really want to note here is that when you're sending cold emails, number one, don't use your main website's email account, because if people mark you as spam or your email address gets blocked, that could hurt your whole website, could hurt your sales, could hurt your marketing, could hurt all the emails you send to your existing email list. So do not use your main email address. For example, if my website is juliangoldie.com, I wouldn't use me@juliangoldie.com to send these emails. Instead, I might find a cheaper domain, a cheaper version of Julian Goldie with a different ending, a different top level domain. Like, for example, juliangoldie.gold. Matches the name perfectly, right? At $5.98, I can send email addresses from there. And if it gets blocked or if it gets blacklisted, doesn't matter. I haven't impacted my main website. So you really want to protect yourself and set up a burner domain for sending out emails. And also don't use a Gmail account. If you use a free Gmail account, it is free, but it's going to cost you the success and the volume of emails that you can send, because Gmail accounts get blocked pretty quickly. And also it doesn't look professional. If someone sees you're sending emails from a Gmail account, well, they're probably not going to take you very seriously. Whereas if you have a proper business account, and even though it's not the best domain, that's going to look a lot better. Now, to set up your email address, you can buy the domain on Namecheap and you can buy the email on Namecheap. So when you're buying the domain, you use this section on Namecheap. To buy the account, use G Suite. You can set up an account like this. You choose your plan over here, and then you can start sending your emails. And that's pretty much it. So let's move on to setting up Postaga. Okay, and I'm going to set this up from scratch because I want to show you how we do this. One thing I want to say, when you're setting up Postaga, the first email campaign that you set up is going to be a test campaign. It's just going to make sure that you get familiar with setting up a campaign, right? So when you set up the test campaign, don't spend hours trying to create it. Simply because it's a test campaign, you can't toggle it off. So make sure you're aware of that before you create your first Postaga campaign. It will be in test mode. You won't be able to send it. So all the customizations that I'm showing you should be on your second campaign with Postaga. Just do a test run yourself, get familiar with the settings, get familiar with the setup, because there's lots of options along the way. So we're going to sign up for the account here. I'll put my name. You can use whatever you want. And then we can put our name, email address like here. So I'm going to use goldie.agency as my burner domain. And then we just need to create a password and we're good to go. Now, from here, I will just click in-house SEO. Okay, I think it's just a quick survey, so I don't need to worry too much about that. We're going to focus on building links. Click done. There we go. Company name, Goldie Agency, website URL over here, add canned spam. So I was talking about the unsubscribe. This is really important just from a legal perspective to make sure that you do include this, right? Because then people can opt out and unsubscribe, or they can just say stop and stop receiving this. But either way, you do want to make sure you've got that there. And then you put in the address for canned spam compliance. So I will just put my details here, hit save like that. I've already got an account, but I'm just going to set up a different account just for the sake of this video. And then I can put my website's URL in here. Now you customize all of this information to your business, obviously, and then we will hit save like this and let's go. We're going to promote a blog post. We can enter the URL of our blog post. So for example, like this, click next, and then you can run whatever recommended campaign it recommends. This is our first campaign. So we're promoting a blog post. We're going for resources. We can also select skyscraper as well. I believe if we select resources like this and then put in our post URL, hit analyze post like this, it will give us a list of suggested websites we should reach out to. So then we click next. We've got the post title, post website, post keyword we're trying to rank for. You can add more keywords like this. You select the category, publish date, etc. You can choose any competitors that you have, sales pitch, etc., merge field. And then if we hit find results over here, this should give us some suggestions of websites we can reach out to for links. And then we can select all. Now, I want to be 100% honest with you. This page that I've selected for link building doesn't have many prospects right now, but it's loading more results. And ideally as well, if you can get maybe 1,000 prospects or 500 prospects, that's way better, because the more prospects you have, the more results you're going to get. This is a numbers game like I've talked about before, even if you're paying for links. So we can select all, load more. And this tool is really good because what you would have to do previously is have to like analyze all the potential websites you could get a link from, and then you have to manually filter them. You have to check them yourself, make sure that there's nothing spammy in there. Whereas this tool itself, Postaga, is really powerful because it gives you relevant prospects to your article that you can reach out for a link. You don't have to do all the manual prospecting on spreadsheets and messing around like that. And you've got an easy breakdown of like the title, the website, when the resource was published as well. It's just a much faster and easier way to find more prospects. And you can see now it's generated over 161 results. So we're going to select all again because these are all websites we could reach out to. You can manually filter them if you want. I would recommend that because there might be some spam in there that we don't ideally want a link from, or there might be prospects in there that are not relevant, right? That's up to you, how much you want to customize it. For the sake of this video and making sure it doesn't last like 6 hours, I'm not going to do lots of manual prospecting because that wouldn't be very fun for you to watch and it wouldn't be very useful either. But just go through here, unclick any websites that you probably wouldn't want a backlink from, uncheck any that are not relevant to you, but most of these prospects are looking relevant and pretty decent. Once you've loaded all your prospects, you can keep going, keep rinsing, repeating this process, adding more keywords here and trying to find more. And then once you've finished, you just click on Analyze Results like this, and it might take a few minutes to load. And whilst that's loading, we shall hit Next. And you can see that it's still analyzing a lot more prospects. So we've had 130 URLs that haven't been analyzed yet, but this is gradually increasing. You can toggle between the basic view and the expanded view. So if we go to the basic view here, what it's actually doing is analyzing the prospects that we could potentially get a backlink from. And then we'll wait for it to load. If you want to change any of the settings whilst you're waiting, you can go over here. And I've previously used juliangoldie.com on Postaga, so it won't let me edit it again on a new account, but I really want to show you how this works. So to set up the account settings properly, you go to your blog domain like this, you type it in there, then you put the name of your company. You can set up a bunch of domain block list names. So if there's certain websites you don't want to contact, or certain websites that know you and you have relationships with, you can add them to your domain blacklist like this. And also you can add websites that are just never going to link to you anyway, right? So if you reach out to google.com, they're not going to link back to you. Same with facebook.com. You can add some contacts. So if there's certain people you don't want to contact as well, you can add them there. And then you can set up all these merge fields here as well. As far as I'm aware for Postaga, you don't need to, but we can come on to that later if it's required. And then we'll hit save. And I just need to remove the HTTPS of this. Hit save like that. There we go. Settings saved. Now this might take a while to get through, so we'll come back later once it's ready. Okay, so we're back in the game. We've had all of our prospects analyzed. Some of them Postaga couldn't analyze at all, probably like the websites are not that good or something like that, which is good because it filters out the rubbish. We don't need it anyway. And this took about 10 to 15 minutes to actually analyze those prospects, in case you're wondering. So we're going to click Get Contacts over here, and that will load for us. And then we'll go to Next. And you can see it's loaded the email addresses for us for the websites that we're going to contact. So if we click on this, we can see it's loaded the email address from that domain. And now it's in the process of finding the email contacts for each website. And you can filter out anything unrealistic as well. So for example, Search Engine Watch or MailChimp, are they going to link to me from an outreach campaign? Probably not. So you can remove anything irrelevant. It's just finding the contact us for us. Now, on top of that, if we click 24 others like this, you can select the most relevant person to you. So if you really wanted to go in depth in this, you could decide to pick like the editor from the website or the SEO from the website, the best person, the most relevant contact to reach out to for backlinks for that particular site. And then we'll wait for the contacts to load. So we're back in the game and you can see that it's pretty normal to not be able to find some contacts. I used to see this with Hunter when I use that directly as well, is that you would find some contacts, but others wouldn't be found at all, just because there's no email address for that, or the email address isn't openly available for that website that we're trying to prospect. So now we've got a list of 124 contacts we can reach out to ask for a backlink. So what we're going to do is click on next over here. And now we can choose the email sequence, and we can basically preview this. So we're going to click resources like this, and you can see it's scheduled times for the emails to go out. If we click on resources like this, we can see the actual email that's going to go out there. Now you can edit this before it goes out. And I would highly recommend that, because this is just a templated response. It's straight out of the box. Everyone who's using Postsaga will be using this email template. So I would highly recommend customizing it to your campaign. What you could do actually at this point is you could say to ChatGPT, rewrite this email copy for my article about, and then insert whatever niche you're in. So you could say for my article about forum link building. And there you go. You've got some rewritten emails, still using the same merge field. So you can see you've got contact name there. And if there's no contact name, it will just say there. It has the name of the person you're reaching out as. So for example, Julian Goldie and that's the name of your site here. And then you say, hope your week is going well, came across your site and it's a keyword, link URL, etc. And then you can paste this in like that. And this is the ChatGPT generated content. I would highly recommend just cutting out the fluff and getting straight to the point. If someone emailed me, I want them to get straight to the point with no messing around. And then you can change the email section here. Now, what works really well is typically very quick and straight to the point email subjects like this. And that's what works in my experience, right? When I do outreach, or even when I do emails to my list, typically we get about a 20 to 30% open rate for our emails using things very generic like quick question or hey name or whatever. So for the email subject, just customize that however you want, and then we can get on with the rest of the campaign. You can hit save like that, and that content is saved. You can edit the rest, and you can add more follow-ups as well. We're going to click load sequence of changes like that. And if you click on this button over here, you can actually add more emails. So I'm going to X off that. And you can see here what it does is it basically sends an email, and you can view that email over here. Then it waits for 3 days, and you can change this however you want. 3 days is okay. And then it will send the next email, and then you can add another delay. So we can wait 3 days, and then you can add another follow-up email. And then you can just choose whichever email you want to add, or click on view email like this. And you can actually write a new email and then save it as new. So you could write a follow-up email and then save it as new down here. And that's pretty much it. So I'm going to X off there, but normally you would save your changes right next to your email. I would highly recommend sending 3 emails, waiting 3 days or 4 days in between each one. And typically most of your backlinks or most of your sponsors are going to come in after the 2nd or 3rd email that you've chased up. And now we've got the spreadsheet for you. And these are basically all of the emails that we're going to send to people. So you've got the names over here, you've got the post title. These are the merge fields that are going to appear in the email. And if we click next over here, we'll click on leave blank. And one thing that I've noticed actually on this spreadsheet is that select sending users needs to be chosen. So to fix this, the select sending users, you need to connect your email address to the users section on your settings. So you can just open up Postsaga in another tab, click on connected emails, click on new connected emails, connect email over here, SMTP, configure Gmail. Then we just have to configure this and set it up so that we can actually fire off the email from Gmail. Now, to do this, first of all, we need to set up 2-factor authentication. So let me show you how to do that. You would click on this link, and then you would make sure you've selected the email address that you want to send emails from. For example, me at .goldieagency. Go to settings, and then on this page, you can set up 2-step verification. I've set it up with a phone number, and that's very easy to do. The next thing you need to do is create an app password. So you would click on this link. You're going to sign into the relevant email address that you're going to use for this campaign. For example, like me at .goldieagency. And there we go. I'm going to create a new password for this device. And then from here, you just add in your details. So you got the email account password, the server, which I'm using Gmail as we talked about previously. Then we'd add the email address. So .goldieagency. We'll change the SMTP address to that as well. Keep the default settings. Let's hit test, see what happens. SMTP connection successful. Perfect. Then we'll hit save. And there we go. And now we just have to put our details. So we're going to put Julian Goldie, max emails per day. Honestly, if this is a brand new campaign for you, you need to warm it up. You can't send like 100 emails at once. So we're going to go with a maximum of 15 emails per day whilst we warm this account up. And then you would gradually increase it. So you might start off with 15 for the first week, 20 emails per day for the second week, 30, 40 emails, etc., and just build it up. Because if you go full gung-ho mode and try and send like 100 emails on a brand new email account per day, you're just going to get blocked, or you're going to go straight to the spam and your deliverability will go down. So it's really important when you're setting up a new email that you just gradually warm this up and you don't go too crazy at once. So we'll set that at 1 to 15 emails per day. If you upgrade to your account on Posttarga, you can set up a custom email address. We'll hit save for now. And there we go. We've got the user set up right now. So if we go back to our campaign, in the campaign section, here we go, hit edit, I'm going to close these. I'm just going to fix some of the settings. You've probably already done this, but I'm going to change the post site to juliangoldie.com. Hit next, next. And we just want to go back to where we were previously. So go to next. I can't seem to be able to change the send in user for this campaign from what I've seen so far, which is okay, because what we can do is if we click on this, I can just change user first to my name is Julian Goldie, and you will replace this with whatever name or alias you're using to send these emails. Hit save like that. We'll load the sequence changes, and I'll check resources too as well. Okay, hit save on that. Load sequence changes. Let's hit next. And then one final thing we need to edit in the email copy is the post summary here. So you can add a custom post summary if you want. I'm just going to write something manually about this article. You just want to sum this up in one quick sentence so that webmasters can quickly understand what you're talking about. So something like that. Then you would hit save, reload the sequence changes, and let's see what it comes back with. Okay, perfect. And now here, before you send the emails, you can preview them. So you can see you've got the subject title, you've got the email copy, and it's all tailored and custom made to that person who's being sent the email. You can send a test to yourself. I would highly recommend sending a test to yourself before you actually fire this off. Then we'll hit next. Okay, we can select senders. We've got the testing email there. You can track the open rates. You can stop the emails being sent if someone replies. I wouldn't recommend sending on weekends, but obviously because this is a test run, this option is disabled, and then you would just go off and send them. Now, some websites you won't get a contact for, that's fine, continue anyway, and there you go. That's how you do it. That's how you would set up a campaign. Now, let me show you the results of a campaign I've already sent, so you can see some examples of what people come back to you with. So here's an example of what people might come back to you with once you're sending out this campaign. So this is once you've sent the campaign, you've posted it out, you can see like some people are going to say, right, I can add your link, but how much are you going to pay me? And then you just negotiate the rate down. People are going to reply to your campaign. You answer them, you negotiate the links. They might ask for a page. You might go back and offer them a link exchange, etc. And that's what you do. Simple as that. Now, the actual software I use for link building is Pitchbox, but it's outside of most people's price range. And that's why I haven't recommended it for this particular video. I don't think that would be very fair to the people watching. So instead, I've tried to find the cheapest and fastest option, especially for beginners. For Posttarga, obviously it's a lot cheaper than Pitchbox. You can do the 3-day trial and try it out for yourself. It's $99 per month. It's a lot faster and it will save you time than versus sending this all out manually. And with the Pro package, you get 2,000 contacts, unlimited campaigns, 10,000 emails to send, etc. And you can send as many as 300 emails a day. So I would highly recommend that each time you produce a new piece of content, run it through Posttarga, get the outreach email campaigns, try and get as many prospects as possible for each email campaign, because the more prospects you send your outreach campaign to, the more backlinks you're going to get. And it's pretty much as simple as that. That's how this whole thing works. You might be wondering, what do the backlinks look like once websites have replied to you and added the link? Well, here's an example. So this is a DR48 backlink we got from outreach. We got it to our piece of content about digital marketing. And basically, the link that you're getting is going to be inserted within the content of the article. And that's because it looks natural. This is how you would get backlinks naturally from other websites. If they were linking to you without any sort of outreach at all, they would mention you in their article. And it's the same with any sort of piece of content that's well referenced or that goes viral. So we're trying to emulate what a natural backlink looks like to Google's algorithm and Google's crawler, so that when it finds your backlink, it looks legit. And if you're on a Mac, you press Option, Command, U, and then you can check where your backlink is. So if we type in Julian Goldie, you can see the backlink is inserted right here with the anchor text, digital marketing. So that's pretty much it. You've got both link building strategies that you need to use. I would highly recommend implementing both for each. So Harrow link building is great for getting backlinks to your homepage, and you can do it every single day and get some really high quality backlinks plus PR. And then on top of that, if you run an outreach campaign for each of the pieces of content you publish on your website, then you can start building backlinks to each one of them, watch your links come in. You can automate most of it with PostArgus, so it doesn't take too much time to set up and complete, and then you can build natural backlinks like that. And this way, you're increasing your domain rating, you're getting natural backlinks, you're getting PR, and with the links from Harrow and also from postargo.com, you're absolutely flying. Now, as I've always said, you do need to be consistent with outreach. Some people say outreach is too hard, blah, blah, blah. It's not. You can see this website is generating tons of backlinks, and I don't even do that much outreach for it, okay? If I show you here, you can see we're constantly getting backlinks into our website. From doing this method, it works really well, and that's exactly what I'd recommend for you.